Well, back at it for another AgTech Dogwalk, and today is kind of fun as it was supposed to be a blizzard that shut down everything, and I don't know if you can see this. My dogs are walking out in this. It's a little chilly. There's Buddy. He's seemingly a little cold. But yeah, it's full school and daycare. I'll take it. Anyways, as for AgTech, I guess typical Mondays, I don't really always know what to talk about because chaos of the weekend, but one, I guess, point, last week I was at the big World AgriTech conference, and I mean, there was quite a bit of talk about consolidation, I felt, and while the investment space, that's kind of where that thing comes from, and there's been a lot of groups talking about consolidation lately. Maybe kind of want to put my 2 cents on that, in that, I mean, it's for sure going to happen this year. Lots of biologicals. There's that. Of course, some are just not consolidable. That's a word, I guess. They don't have a market, or they're not big enough. They just, they're trying to get an idea out there. Maybe it's good, but they just don't have the presence or the money to get it out and develop it fully into more of a sustainable product. So a lot there. The software side is going to be interesting too. I mean, plenty has already happened there, but some of the trouble in that, and I've dealt with this because, I mean, trust me, people have asked through, I mean, it's been a long time. I've been asked many times just for our family companies, like, what do you think this? I'm not going to get into all that, but I know the experience, and with less maybe VC going into, there's some private equity groups looking, but they want you to have 2, 3, 4, 5, 10 million, 15, 20 million dollars in revenue. And talking to a lot of groups, what private equity wants, I mean, those groups just do not exist. I could maybe call a couple out, but those groups that are kind of have found their niche. They're their thing. They don't even want investment. They don't want that stuff because they're doing good. Honestly, that's not what they want. And as for smaller groups, what's always tough is there's the build or buy kind of mentality. This happens from the corporate level, from other of the larger AgTech groups, you could call it, or outside groups looking to get into ag. And it's really tough in ag because it's not like your typical software. It's not a CRM, or it's not a fandangled, certain Word document tool or video editing tool. And there's all these AI stuff. It's not so new where it's just, who would you buy? It's like easier to develop it new because you'd be on the same stance as everyone else. And that's kind of what happened maybe in these last 10 years, is the build mentality was so much there because, like, oh, I can get easy money and grab a bunch of people and just build it. Why would I partner? Why would I buy it? Even if it's a decent price, when I could just build it exactly the way I want. Well, I'd say that's shifting, because building stuff in ag software, maybe you can build it and it looks great and it does all the things you say it's going to do, but no one uses it because the market dynamics of ag are just, as people outside of ag are learning, a little more complicated than they thought. So that's where I think the buy part gets interesting with this consolidation, because while there are some softwares out there developed that are fairly new, they're really not developed enough to the industry. They maybe have too many tools in it because they're trying to adhere to so many people, and they don't have a defined market. And some may be focused on one thing, and we're doing good, but they just didn't get the scale and the money in, and so that valuation point of consolidation of where these groups sit is so hard. And then the people that are part of it, some people leave, especially when times get tough, and so what's left? Is it just a scrappy duo, or the the founder's still in it that really know a lot about it and can do a lot of extra value into a consolidation? Or is there just a lot of people? Lately, a lot of groups have hired, teams of, call it 10, 20, 30 overseas and on contract. Well, those people might come over on something that got bought, consolidated in. A lot of times not. I mean, you see the Pro Agrica thing, even this whole powerhouse of them coming in, and people, let's say what TELUS bought them for is very, very, very low comparatively to how much money has actually been put into it. Like it's bad if the number is correct, which devalues a lot of people. But then what comes with that? I mean, but they fired half their people. And that's the other thing, is if you have a lot of people in these smaller ag tech groups that are getting consolidated, you're not all coming with. But what's the value of the people that are coming with? How do you evaluate that as a larger company that's buying them or something? It's not a good answer, because it's so tricky. So this is not to tell people what to do, but I would say anybody that is trying to buy somebody else, do look at the history and what those people, the main people that are there, have done, what they can do, because there is value there. Maybe it's people, connections they know in the industry, maybe it's scientific, I don't know. And also take a deep look at what it costs to build these things, because sometimes, while the building option is great, it's all about time, how long it took to build that tool. Maybe after an acquisition, a group can say, oh, we would have just built it, but it's faster. And that's the value, time, and then the people that come in. Or some groups that don't want to buy that and just want to build it and maybe copy a different process that was popular. I've never seen it work good, where someone that could have just bought somebody decided to build it themselves and it was just as good. Because the passion's not there, in all the internal things, corporate especially, when they try to do it, it never works. I don't think I've ever seen it work successfully, where a corporate has tried to copy what a smaller group has done and done it just as successfully. They've maybe forced it through marketing and hype, kind of a little bit, but then it kind of falls on its face. So, just in going forward with all the consolidation and buy-ups and whatnot, take the time to evaluate these things correctly. Some are going to be better than others. Some are going to take a little bit more than you think to properly bridge the passion from that smaller group to the bigger group. And that's what keeps it going. Because I can tell you from experience, when TELUS, where I used to work, bought a bunch of companies, great, they were going for this big thing. Well, a lot of the leadership people got out in the first 6 months or year, and other people kind of went with them or went into something else. The passion just dropped. The knowledge and passion of these things just dropped, and it clearly has shown that it hasn't really worked great. Other factors play into, but that is probably one of the biggest reasons I've seen when consolidation or some group buys another one, is the passion doesn't follow through, and then it's not worth it. So find a way to bridge that passion over, and I think consolidation in ag tech can work, but it's tricky. Until next time, and barring the weather and the roads, I guess hopefully it'll be next time. Later.